Hey, welcome into Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee, the show that highlights Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties off the pages of your local newspapers. And I'm Scott Stewart, publisher of your local newspapers, the Pulaski Citizen, Lawrence County Advocate, and Main Street Maury. We want to get you a copy of your local newspaper in your mailbox or on your computer screen every single week. And here's how you do it. Call 931-363-3544. 615-452-4940 or 931-762-1726, all numbers for any paper, although I'm sure you recognize your own area, and if you want to call that office, that'll be fine as well. Or you can visit PulaskiCitizen.com, MainStreetMurray.com, or LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net, all of those as well for any paper, and it'll tell you everything you need to know to get a subscription online or a traditional subscription to your local newspaper. Now let's get our weekly wraps up and started this week with the Pulaski Citizen Wrap. The Pulaski Citizen Wrap starts this week with our Citizen Spotlight, Cassie McCluskey, whose photo graces that spot right there at the top and center of our front page. Congratulations, Cassie. Also on page 1, 2 more suspects have been charged in a case from a couple of weeks ago involving sex crimes against a child. And the Giles County Grand Jury has handed down a presentment with 4 counts against Alan Keith Word, who's charged with the murder of his girlfriend, Samantha Bivens, back in October. The Richland Lady Raiders are headed to state for the first time since 1993 after a huge sectional win at Wayne County last Saturday night. Way to go, Lady Raiders, and they play at 12:45 today. That's Wednesday, and the coverage starts on the front page, and the rest is all in sports, so make sure you check it out. The county commission meets next week, and they will reconsider some of their proposed projects that they've already approved, so you can check out all that. One of those projects is a new ambulance building, and Chandler Harmon has a feature article on the need for that new facility. And we get some pictures, and he talks to the folks in the ambulance department to find out the need for a new ambulance facility. Inside, the Trail of Tears Interpretive Center has received a grant. We've got that. The city of Pulaski has been asked to consider allowing more than one parade permit per day. You can find out about that as well. We have our annual Girl Scout celebration page. Happy 113th to the Girl Scouts, right? Margaret Campbell shares a recipe of Irish soda bread with St. Patrick's Day right around the corner. The Danticleer delves into one of Dan's favorite subjects. That's the boy hero, Sam Davis himself. Butter is the GCHA Pet Corner Pet of the Week. We've got your Elkton Elementary perfect attendance students and Southside Elementaries and Minor Hill Elementaries honor roll students. And as always, Pulaski Citizen has obituary notices, court docket, property transfers, government public notices, backward glances, fun and games, church director, community briefs, Tennessee Valley weather, and church briefs. You can't get that kind of variety anywhere you go, not even on the internet. So make sure you pick up your copy this week of the Pulaski Citizen. Well, that's all we have right now, and we know that Wade's got some sports. So let's go over and see what he's got for us this week.
What's up, folks? Wade Neely here, sports editor at the Pulaski Citizen. Time now for a look at what's in print and what's online for the March 12th edition of the Pulaski Citizen sports page. Basketball. March is here, and we have teams running all across the state of Tennessee as Giles County's boys and Richland boys and girls all made region this season, and we have recaps of each and every single one of those games as we hit print and online this week. We'll start with the Richland Raiders. Richland had a great run in the region tournament, knocking off Maury County in the semifinals. They ran into a familiar foe, however, in the championship game. The 5A final does go in favor of Santa Fe, 52-45. Make sure you check out our recap from that. You can also go back and listen to our broadcasts of the region tournament on Pulaski Citizen Live. So make sure if you want to go back and revisit those that you find them. So tough break for the Richland Raiders. That flipped into Monday night. That meant that the Raiders were on the road for their sectional, and it was a tough one by the time you watch this and by the time Print hits the newsstands. Monday's game did not go in favor of Richland as they fall on the road at Wayne County. But we look back at the region for your Richland Raiders. Lady Raiders, similar script. They also had to settle for a runner-up in Region 5A. They fall to Moore County in the championship game. We have complete coverage of that game, and what a doozy it was as two of the top-ranked teams in Class A ball got it on over in Lynchburg, and it was the Raiderettes who had to kind of rally in the second half. Richland was playing well, but not well enough. Close ball game goes in favor of Moore County. That sent the Richland Lady Raiders on the road for their Saturday sectional. You can see that on the front page of this week's edition of the Pulaski Citizen. They did go on the road and did defeat Wayne County. So make sure that you check out all the goodies there from Coach Hall and the Richland Lady Raiders. Meanwhile, Giles County Bobcats bowing out in the region semifinals. No shame in that. They fell to a really, really talented Upperman team, one of the top-ranked teams in the state of Tennessee across Class 3A. 54-33 was your final last Tuesday night up in Cookeville as the Bobcats do fall in the region semis. Had a great win to kick off their region campaign, knocking off Livingston Academy 71-52. Make sure that you check that out. Again, full recaps of GCHS and Richland basketball last week. But wait, there's more. Caught up with UTS Firehawk tennis coach Bill Riddle over the weekend. They were in action Saturday at home versus Bethel University. Always good for the Firehawks to beat Bethel, and that's exactly what the men's tennis program did, sweeping all of their matches on Saturday. So make sure you check out our coverage from Magazine Road Park at the Deanne Neville Tennis Complex. UTS rolling right along. By the time you watch this, they're probably going to crack the top 25 as Coach Riddle has that team cruising into tournament time here in just about a month. That's about a wrap for us in the Pulaski Citizen this week. We always have words from our good friend Larry Woody, but a reminder as we close, if you miss any of this in print, you can find it online at PulaskiCitizen.com. I'm Wade Neely saying so long, and we'll see you next time.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
He shoots, and he scores! Welcomed with some good old-fashioned Southern hospitality. We'll give you a hand. Cheer you on.
You suck! It's all your fault!
Hey, we'll even leave a light on.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
Hello, I'm Main Street Maury reporter Andrew Pearson, here with the news from last week. At the top of page A1, we cover the annual prayer walk for Justice for Deverick. Jamaica Patton holds this walk to commemorate the life of her son, Deverick Renfro, and to get justice in the open case of his murder. Deverick was killed in Mrs. Patton's house in 2020 by unknown assailants who set the house on fire to cover their tracks. She hopes that the walk will inspire people to hate violence and to, quote, put them guns on the ground, end quote. Last week, the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation explained to Maury County Mayor Sheila Butt why they allowed Trinity Business Group to dig up drums of white phosphorus on the old Monsanto property in December. The reaction of the phosphorus with air produced thick white smoke, which would have seriously irritated the eyes and respiratory tract of anyone who walked into it. TDEC said the public wasn't exposed to this smoke, which was released into the open air and could be seen from neighboring properties. County leaders weren't notified at all before the phosphorus was dug up, which is nothing new when it comes to TDEC and Trinity's activities at the old Monsanto facility. The city of Spring Hill just bought 111 acres of land next to I-65 to dig a reservoir for the pilot of the Advanced Water Purification Project. A small amount of water will be purified with a special chemical cocktail, then put back into the reservoir to swirl around and cleanse the water there before the water goes to the plant for more stringent treatment. The city paid about $8 million for the plot, or $73,000 per acre. A man in Columbia was charged with the sexual exploitation of a minor after allegedly sending and receiving explicit texts with a 17-year-old young woman. He was released on a $155,000 bond. And the lead singer of the band Hippies and Cowboys spoke with Main Street Maury about what it's like to be in a rock and roll group nowadays. It's tough, but Aaron Sparling wouldn't trade it for the world. His band has been laying the groundwork for success for 5 years now. They're currently trying to find or write the hit song that will put the torch to their tinder. Hippies and Cowboys will play at the Mule House next Saturday night. Tickets are for sale online now. Beyond the first page, Columbia Power and Water is now offering help with their online portal after rate hikes and a cold snap provoked an avalanche of customer complaints about high bills. The Maury County Democratic Party will soon elect new officers for the next 2 years. Haley Ferguson of Spring Hill attended President Trump's address to Congress last week. Employees of Altium Cells raised almost $7,800 for black colleges last month. United Communications has taken applications now for its $8,000 scholarships for the year. Columbia State just hosted 2 events for high school students who want to be teachers. And Columbia State Vet Tech instructor Savannah Pruitt was just given a fellowship to the Association of Veterinary Technician Educators. Anyway, that's all the news on our A pages. Thank you for tuning into Main Street Maury's stream news for this week. And here are sports with Maurice Patton.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Maury. This week's print edition of Main Street Maury, the March 12th edition, is led by a little spring sports activity and a little hardwood activity. We will start indoors as Santa Fe continued its postseason run. They bounced back from a loss in the District 10 1A championship game to noted rival Richland by picking up a couple of victories down in Moore County after winning their region quarterfinal. They defeated Eagleville 58-55 in the region the region semifinals. Got 41 points out of Alden Slaughter in that one, and then followed up with a win in the region championship over Richland to get a host site for Monday's state sectionals. and this isn't in print, but they took care of business in that one as well with a 62-59 win over McEwen on Monday night. So the Wildcats are headed back to the Class 1A state tournament for the second straight year. Again, we've got coverage of their run through the postseason in the print edition of Main Street Maury. Be sure and check that out. We've also got Independence picking up a Region 5 4A championship victory over Centennial last week. They won that finals over at Franklin on Thursday night. They played a Monday sectional as well. Again, this isn't in print, but you can find it online at mainstreetmaury.com. Independence defeated Beach in the sectionals on Monday night. So they go back to the state tournament for a third straight year, and they are still in position to successfully defend their Class 4A state championship from last year. So again, got coverage of Independence basketball, coverage of Santa Fe basketball, both in print this week and online at mainstreetmaury.com. So be sure and check that out. Also, a little baseball action. We looked at Spring Hill's baseball situation as their first year coach, Dennis Pasquantino, put it. They're a little nomadic right now because of the ongoing facility upgrades there, switching over from natural grass to artificial turf. That process is continuing. They are not able to play home games at this point. Check in on how they are handling that situation here early in the baseball season. We've also got a little coverage of a college softball event. Well, high school, junior college softball event approaching next week, next Tuesday. The 7th Mid-State Classic will take place out at Ridley Park. Tennessee will play Eastern Kentucky in the 5:30 nightcap out there. Prior to that, you will have Columbia State taking on Calhoun Community College out of Alabama, and the day will begin with a 10 o'clock meeting between Columbia Central and Spring Hills softball team. So again, we've got coverage of that upcoming event in this week's Main Street Maury, the print edition. Also catching you up with Columbia State's men's and women's basketball teams. They went into the state tournament down at Southwest Tennessee Community College in Memphis this weekend and acquitted themselves fairly well. The Lady Chargers advanced to the semifinals before falling. The Chargers advanced to the championship game, which, as we tape this, we don't know how that came out, but you can be sure and check out mainstreetmaury.com to get caught up on that. Again, Columbia State's men's and women's basketball teams in state tournament action. We've got some of that coverage in the print edition of Main Street Maury that's available right now. Columbia Central senior KJ Frierson signed a football scholarship with Lindsey Wilson College out of Columbia. We've got a little coverage of that. Also, some Spring Hill Independence softball, some Columbia Academy baseball as they open their season with a big win at home against Grace Christian. The defending Division II 1A champion Bulldogs continue to roll coming out of that win to start the season. We've also got basketball scoring and three-point leaders to this point. We've got an update on Alden Slaughter's rise up the all-time scoring charts for TSSAA boys basketball. Got a little flag football and some Larry Woody contributions from outdoors, as he always does every week. So be sure and check all of that out again in the print edition of Main Street Maury. Online, again, we'll have coverage of Santa Fe and Independence basketball as they get ready for state tournament play next week over at MTSU's Murphy Center. We will also have some spring sports to keep you up with, and we will get you updated on Columbia State and their championship game down in Memphis in the TCCAA finals. So be sure and check out this week's print edition of Main Street Maury, the website mainstreetmaury.com, and next week's print edition of Main Street Maury. We got you covered on sports here in the area. I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Maury. We'll see y'all next week.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
Only in Smashville are opponents welcomed with some good old-fashioned Southern hospitality. We'll give you a hand, cheer you on.
You suck! It's all your fault!
Hey, we'll even leave a light on.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
So the Lawrence County Advocate has 20, that's right, count them, 20 full pages of information, news, and sports for you, all about Lawrence County. You better get yours right now. The front page starts this week with a photo and article by yours truly on the celebration last week in honor of the 190th anniversary of the day that Davy Crockett died, March 6, 1834, as we all know, at the Alamo. Carrie Staggs tells us the story of Crockett Theater's performance on Disney's Beauty and the Beast Jr. Carrie also went to STRHS's Heart, that's H-E, capital A, capital R, capital T, Heart Show last week to get us some photos and tells us all about it right there on the front. And finally on A1 is a look at updates the Lawrenceburg City Council received back in February. Inside, Sandy Mashburn shares several stories from local law enforcement, including one on an Etheridge woman facing 18 counts of animal cruelty. Other inside articles include high winds keeping first responders busy last week and a stolen trailer that ends up as a drug arrest. There's a couple of photos of emergency personnel responding to an overturned truck in Lawrence County, a car fire over the line in Giles County, and a truck that crashed into Tanya's Market up in Summertown. The January Historical Society program was Summertown and Crestview, and we've got the whole program and the photos right there. We catch up with Loretta FFA, and we also got the celebration of the Valentine's celebration at Sunset Fellowship. So that's a lot of stuff that we have in there. There's more. Neil Beard tells us about another trip to the mountains, and Henry's Corner bring us quotes from the feed store. So make sure you don't miss that. And as always, Lawrence County Advocate has local obituaries, local community announcements, government notices, auctions and estate sales, the forecast from Tennessee Valley Weather. And we're back to 2 pages of puzzles and comics. So those of you who've been missing the puzzles and comics, there we are. We're back to 2 pages. And the local church directory, all of that and so much more. Once again, as I say, You can't get that kind of variety anywhere in the world, including the internet. So make sure you pick up your copy of the Lawrence County Advocate today. In sports, it has been an exciting sports week for Lawrence County. Lawrence County gets a twofer in Murfreesboro this week. The Loretto and Summertown girls both won Saturday night to advance to the state tournament at MTSU. We break down their sectional wins in the paper this week. We've also got their schedules in Murfreesboro. So here you go. Their schedules start today, Wednesday, for Loretto at 4 p.m. and for Summertown this evening at 7:15 p.m. Like I said, MTSU in Murfreesboro. Also, we highlight the Loretto Mustangs region title game, and I can announce to you that they punched their ticket to Murfreesboro next week by defeating Harpeth Monday evening in their sectional round. So Loretto boys will start state tournament play next Wednesday, March the 19th at 4 p.m. once again at MTSU's Murphy Center. All the basketball action for the teams that are going to state in this week's edition of, along with photos and everything, in this week's edition of the Lawrence County Advocate. Larry Woody's Woods and Waters focuses on boats, and we've got an update from Blade Tidwell, who pitched what is being called an immaculate inning in the Major League Baseball spring training recently. Finally, don't forget to get your votes in for Lawrence County's Main Street Awards. There's a ballot, a full-page ballot in this week's paper, and also you can vote online at lawrencecountyadvocate.net. Well, that's it for the Lawrence County Advocate Wrap. We'll be right back right after this.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Happy Wednesday, I'm Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We're starting off nice and sunny. Once again, it will be a little bit breezy this afternoon with a wind out of the south, but here in southern middle Tennessee, we're starting things off in the 40s and will eventually warm up into the low to mid 70s this afternoon. Mostly sunny for much of the day. Cloud cover will start to increase into the evening and overnight with a few thunder showers possible overnight and continuing for your Thursday as temperatures get down into the 50s overnight for tonight. And then for your Thursday, again, maybe a few thunder showers around, but then we are going to be paying very close attention heading into Friday and Saturday with potentially multiple rounds of severe storms for southern middle Tennessee. Again, overnight Friday night into the very early morning hours of Saturday, and then once again Saturday afternoon into the evening. The potential for all threats for both events and both rounds include damaging winds, as well as hail, as well as a tornado risk both Friday night and Saturday afternoon. So be sure to stay weather aware heading into this weekend.
Hey, that's it for this week's Morning on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. Make sure to get your copy of your local newspaper online or through traditional newspaper so that you don't miss a minute of all the local coverage that we have for you. For more information on subscribing to any of our newspapers, there's really one place you can go and get it all. That's MainStreetMediaTN.com. MainStreetMediaTN.com. And again, thank you for trusting us as your source for local news, sports, information, and more. And good Lord willing, we're going to be right back here next week on Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.